There's a saying in the English language where insanity is defined as when you keep doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting different results. And for the first 81 overs or 91 overs of the game today, Pakistan were pretty much doing the same thing and expecting different results. Whether it's with the batting, whether it's with the bowling, they got lucky and at the end had a flattering defeat. So close yet so far. Heartbreak, yes, for the Pakistan fans. But in my opinion, my rather harsh and humble opinion, I still think this team has got a long, long way to go. Thank you, South Africa. You made us look better than we actually are. But there's lots to do. Moin, how would you look at this?
And so the one thing I'll say is, if anyone is to learn about self-preservation, one should learn from Zahid Ali. Zahid, it's this. You put it so well, right? When you're in the moment, you just think about, oh, this was a game we should have won. We were literally 1 wicket away. But if you actually take a step back and think about the entire 100 overs, so I don't fully agree with you that for most of the game we were doing the same thing. I think definitely when batting we were, and I'll come on to talk about that in more detail. But I think on the bowling front there was an improvement. Now let's talk about batting first, right? There is one stat in which we lost the game. There's just one stat that explains it. It's not about the number of sixes. It's not about the number of wickets or anything like that. 22 overs out of the 47 overs that we played were dot balls. You need to realize that every ball that you play is a scoring opportunity. Okay. Look at how Virat Kohli plays. Look at how India, all of India, Australia, dot ball is the last resort. It's always, oh, how do I score? If not four, if not six, four, not four, double, not double, single. It's about knocking the ball around. Pakistan just have, and I'm looking at you, Babar Azam. It's either this four or dot ball, right? And you cannot be the best batter in the world when you can neither hit sixes, neither can you rotate strike. So you're just either hitting fours or blocking it. You know what I mean? And look at Makram. The difference is Makram. That guy played positive cricket, a bit risky at times, but positive, backed himself. It hardly any dot balls until it got a bit dicey in the end. I mean, that's how you build an innings. And this is and anyone who still talks to me about rankings, here's your answer. Where's Makram on the ranking and where's Babar Azam? I mean, so we lost the game before the bowlers even came out to bowl. They only got close because South Africa bottled it. But yeah, so I agree with you on the batting front.
Well, I concur. People will say Rizwan had a different intent, 27 balls of different intent. Where does that get you? But the problem is Babar Azam. Saud Shakeel, he played really well, got around a ball 50. But again, we can get into the decision of sending Iftikhar, which exposing him to spin in the middle overs. I really didn't understand that. But yeah, I think Babar Azam, another stat padding 50 of 65 balls. I mean, he's got 350s in this tournament. All of them have come in the 60-ish ball range, if not more. I mean, where does that get you? Okay, fine. You were at one stage when you had to rely on Shadab and Saud to get you close to 270, which at 140 for 5 wasn't even looking possible. And then you could have said, okay, 300. But to be honest, look, again, yes, it looks a lot better on paper, but South Africa would have chased 300 down as well if push came to shove, So
100, yeah. They would have also bottled it, but bottled it a bit later in the innings, right? I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Oh, you add 20, we would have won then by 20 runs. No, you won't. You won't. Like it doesn't. Cricket is not linear like that. Otherwise, you won't watch it. The point, it's you raised a very good point about Iftikhar and Saud, right? Last year, Melbourne. Okay, we lamented the fact that Iftikhar came in and looked like a pony when he was playing Adil Rashid. He was so ordinary, and then he got out, right? And everybody's lamenting, why didn't you send Shadab up? Because he's your best batter of spin in that team. Today, you have the best batter of spin who is slotted to come in at number 5. If for whatever reason you wanted to bring someone else up the order to mix things up, you've got Shadab, who plays with positive intent against spin. He's probably your second best batter against spin, and he plays very positively against the spinners. But you choose Iftikhar, who is your only hitter of the ball, clean hitter of the ball against pace, right? You realize that you are 80 for three, or it was 88 or 92 for three,
86 for
something
three,
around
yeah.
86 for three, right? And you bring Iftikhar in. The spinners are on, right? You're lucky he even scored 20, right? And it's not like he came in and said, I'm going to play in a free DS innings and just take them away. No, the reasoning is he plays at number 4 in first class cricket. People compare him to Misbah. He's even his style, when you look at it, forget spinners, it's similar to Misbah, right? So he can build in innings and then he can really take off. But the issue is he has clear weaknesses against wrist spin in particular, right? It was mind-boggling, and the right-hand, left-hand combination could have also worked with Southern. I just think they thought that they took for granted before the match started that we go at 150 for 3, we bring in Iftikhar. Yeah. And as usual, Pakistan don't adjust that plan when you clearly are on the ropes, right? Look, Rizwan, yes, had a different intent, but I do think Babar puts pressure on his partners, right? Partners need to take unnecessary risks because Babar soaks dot balls. You notice it's a 4 and then it's dot, and it's dot 1.
It's strange
because it's a good over.
It's strange because he started really well. He was better than around a ball. His first 12, 13 balls, he was 16, 17. And then he just stopped. He just started dead batting it. And then the Rizwan Babar partnership, Rizwan was going at it better than around a ball, and Babar was going at a 55 strike rate. And that's 15, 20 runs there, gone right there, right? And that's it's poor batting. It's a mindset thing as well. I really don't understand. And look, I think that also has reflected not his skill level, but his mindset has reflected in his captaincy as well. And we'll probably get onto that. And if you ask me, you mentioned the bowling is not to blame. I partly think it is, but it's actually the captaincy that has cost you. But also when there's specific moments, especially when the game got to the crunch, the crunch moments, Babar's captaincy, but the execution of the skills was so poor. Haris Rauf, you've taken a wicket, you've bought in a slip for the tail ender, you've backed your offside field, and you bowl one on the pads, and you give away an easy single. I mean, what are you doing, right? Mohammad Wasim, he bowled really well, good decision to bring him in. He got crucial wickets, but so many balls he bowled down the leg side. I just don't get it. These guys are professional. Mohammad Nawaz, I'm not even going to go there. He needs to not play ever again.
We need a segment on Mohammad Nawaz. We'll come on to him in a second.
I just don't get it. Like, you are professional players. Okay, I know it's difficult, but I can't do it. Okay, people are going to be like, who are you to say this? But I'm not a professional player, right? How can you not at least get the line right? It was so frustrating to see at times. And it was the same thing in the beginning. Okay, Afridi got hit for 19, he came back. But in the first 15, 20 overs, we gave 1 4-ball, 6-ball every over. And that's where I'm saying that in the bowling, we didn't really
the first 10 overs is a write-off, right? I mean, you almost felt it was Nawaz and Iftikhar trying to fill in overs because you didn't have anyone else to share the new ball with, right? Which is absolutely bonkers. But again, what I'll say is I thought Haris, yes, he could have been a little more accurate in at times, but I thought he bowled well, right? Towards the back end. He got that great wicket with a cotton ball. I mean, he really tried. There were many occasions where it missed the bat, could have easily been an edge. It went through a vacant slip cordon, or it went over the header slip. I think that was Wasim bowling. Right? Yeah. So many things could have gone in our favor, right? And let's not forget the Haris Rauf LBW, right? Now, I don't want to talk about it because that's cricket. Because just for everyone's benefit, don't forget their number. I can't pronounce the name. Van der Dusen's dismissal. Right, you saw that LBW. That was the most martial LBW I've ever seen. Right, so you got lucky there against a very good player, and you didn't get lucky here against the number 11. Right, it evens out. Right, so you can't say, oh, had that been, because equally South Africa can say, oh, but you got an absolute. I think it was a bad decision on field, the first one. Right, the second one, it looked angling towards leg stump. It could have gone either way. Anyways, look, that's LBW part of the game. I want to just take a second to talk about Mohammad Nawaz. Okay, this guy, I hope I never see him play for Pakistan again. Okay, and I'm sorry I'm being harsh here, but here's a guy who has no cricketing sense. I thought he would have at least learned from his failure against India, where his only job was to just try and stay there for as long as possible and get as many runs as he could, right? He was the only recognized batter, and he hit Pandya, unnecessary risk, and got out. Today, he did the same thing. In fact, today, the difference was he was still looking good. He looked pretty good when he batted. But then, for some reason, he decided to play a cross-bat shot against the premier pacer. And you think to yourself, you're like, does this guy have no sense? He 8 wickets down. You have 5 overs still to play, or 4. You have to take it deep. It's simple as that. It could have got you 15, 20 runs. I mean, where's the logic? And then when he was fielding at mid-on, he wasn't stopping the singles. He was always on his heels. And it's like, and everyone else was visibly annoyed also, because they were just, and he didn't expect it, and he was late. Like, you need to expect the ball to come to you every single time to be a good fielder, right? And then the bowling. I mean, come on. Like the last, again, as you say, you're a professional, okay? What is the logic with bowling a short, long hop ball when you've got no fielder behind square in the deep, right? Yeah, I know wicket to wicket, but get the length right. I mean, Nawaz has done this time and again. I don't understand. Now, this is where insanity really kicks in with both Babar and Nawaz. Forget the Ahmad Wasim debate. I think we've all settled who should have been in the squad. Forget that. But here, if Shamsi's on strike, that's the key thing. Shamsi's on strike.
That was the ball.
That was the ball. If Maharaj was on strike and you thought, oh, Osama Mir could give you a dolly and hit, I could have somehow understood. Still, you need to back your premier spinner who got Makram out when you brought him on, which I thought was good captaincy. You need to back him. But anyway, I would have accepted. But Shamsi, it's unforgivable. He won't be able to read leg spin, right? I mean, he won't be able to put a bad ball away. You need to back him, right? Chances are it won't have changed the result. You'd be surprised in today's world. 4 runs is nothing, as an edge here, an edge there. They probably would have still won, but you need to give yourself the best chance. I don't understand. I think Rizwan wanted Osama. There was a bit of disagreement there. Yeah. He went with the tried and tested failure of Nawaz at every over. And you had Osama Mir, who unfortunately couldn't have a chance against the number 11.
Yeah. Look, I think the only thing Babar did well was he bowled his seamers out early, which is what we've been saying. So good for that. But some of the other stuff, opening the bowling with Iftikhar, I know they wanted to have this matchup against de Kock. But bowling on the second over, you can't bowl.
Yeah, exactly. The first over is the most important. It sets the tone, the momentum. You've got Shaheen Afridi. You need to back him. The other side, you can bring on Iftikhar, but you need to start well. And what is the first ball? And I don't know, man. So the point is also, the one thing I'll say is, you're so right. He did the right thing. He got his paces in early. But poor guy, he's lost again, and now he will be convinced that no matter what he does, he's designed to lose.
Yeah, but again, he lost a close game, right?
Yes, it's a very close game. It was the best game of the World Cup. So, yeah. And I thought there were a couple of times when he brought Osama Mir on to get Makram out, I thought he did very well. Then he brought Shaheen Afridi back, and those inspired bowling changes almost won you the game. But where you lost was batting and Mohammad Nawaz. I'm sorry, I'm looking straight.
Yeah, field placements didn't have a slip quite a few times. Again, it's okay. The bowlers at times didn't back him, but honestly, I think I said it in our WhatsApp chat. I think Babar Azam is the worst captain in sports history and of any sport. Football, rugby, cricket, Ryder Cup, golf, whatever. Honestly, some of his decision making, I just don't get it. He kind of got lucky. I hope Shadab is okay. Osama redeemed himself. Got a concussion sub on.
The classic concussion sub. You make the most of Shadab's batting, and then Osama bowling, and Osama also caught well as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but his field placings. Okay, I think that the bowling changes again. Some of them, I'm not sure. He bought Wasim on when he should have bought Haris on, I think, and Wasim on for 10 in that over. There's just some subtle things which I think he can do right. He doesn't read the game. He has zero game awareness with his field placements. Always, is Rizwan or someone else is trying to help him. I just don't get it. So I think honestly, they'll get over this World Cup, but I think it's curtains for Babar.
I think the biggest hallmark of a good captain is sensing moments in the game, because it's not often that the team that is winning for most of the game wins. right? Cricket's funny that way. It's about who wins those important moments, who senses those important moments first and brings back their ace bowler. Just you can feel like when we watch, and maybe it's easier sitting in our lounge chairs and in the pressure of the game, but we feel like, oh, this is an important passage. Oh, this, you can feel that this is an important moment in the game, which can, where the momentum can swing, right?
Yeah.
He does not read that. And unfortunately, some things can't be taught, right? If you haven't picked it up in 3-4 years, right? I mean, it's just, you just felt as if he's always behind the 8 ball. He doesn't assess in that moment, and he said, oh, and it's not an important moment when you have 4 runs left and 1 wicket to get. It's important when, let's say, you've just got a wicket, but there's just been a couple of overs of dot ball, so pressure's been building, so there's a bit of release coming, like a release shot coming, which you can capitalize on that pressure, bring your ace bowler on. Case in point, Australia, where Shaheen didn't get brought on sooner. Anyways, look,
and there was I think there was a moment, specific moment. I think it was when Klaasen got out, Miller came in and he brought Iftikhar in. I know there's a matchup, but I mean, it's Iftikhar Ahmed, right?
I mean, yeah, is he really the guy who's going to cash in? I mean, look, if you had like a solid off spinner,
like an Ashwin or a
Murli,
like
an Ashwin or or someone coming in, then you'd understand. If the guy is a part-timer, you've got Shaheen Afridi, and Shaheen Afridi, you've noticed in this World Cup, is bowled very well to left-handers. He's just got the ball to tail away, and he eventually got him out. Like, so you're right. And the funny thing is, this is probably the best game that he's captained, right? So that tells you a lot. But there you have it. Like, I think Babar Azam, we've talked about him. I think the one thing I will say, and I'm going to talk about South Africa for a second. So look, Pakistan are, for all intents and purposes, out. I don't care what mathematical permutations you give me. Pakistan are out. There's a sense of relief that comes with that also, that you don't have to spend the next week worrying about the combinations and permutations. But South Africa, right now, I really want them to do well. They deserve to win some tournaments. But you have to be able to soak in pressure. If Pakistan won today, it is more South Africa losing than Pakistan winning. I mean, you are giving Pakistan a way back into this game, and they got back in this game. I mean, I thought it was pretty brainless stuff. And you saw England suffered this World Cup for a certain approach. I expected better from South Africa. I mean, I was happy that Pakistan had a game to play here, but I was a bit like, how is this team going to be, fair against the better teams like India, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, even at halftime, I was convinced South Africa was going to chase this in 40 overs, as I've been seeing throughout. And the way it started, it looked like it. But to be honest, again, even the wickets that we got in the beginning, de Kock played a bad shot, Bavuma played a bad shot, Markram's wicket, Van der Dusen.
Imamul Haq haters will say you call Quinton de Kock's a bad shot, but then you don't call Imamul Haq a bad shot. Please, there is Zameen Asman Farak. I mean, Imamul Haq, that guy, firstly, he's a horrible fielder. I don't know why he fields at cover. He used to be decent, but he's so overweight now. He's diving over the ball. He's missing everything. And have you noticed how we were always hitting the stumps when it didn't matter? But when it mattered, we weren't hitting the stumps. And with Imamul Haq, who would either be the one who just missed and he'd have this exaggerated action of, oh, and I'm like, Auqat, The thing with Imam is with Quinton de Kock, the guy had switched momentum, right? You can score 20 or 30 and seal momentum in your team's favor, in which case it's a good 30. Imamul Haq it's what I call a pedestrian 30. It's neither here nor there. It's in the middle. It's almost wasted. You've taken it off 50 balls and you're wasted. You've wasted it, but
but the problem is you go back to Fakhar Zaman, back to square one. So look, I think, just get over this World Cup. They need a massive overhaul in the team. Bangladesh next. Imamul Haq will get his 100 or 130 balls. Pakistan will score 270.
Babar will get an 80 of 110. And there you go. And all will be good again and nothing will change. But look, I'm going to be honest here. Babar Azam, fantastic. Look, well, I think he has the potential to be a fantastic batter. I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be harsh and say Babar, we expected a lot more from Babar in big games. He didn't deliver, even with the bat, okay? I think he can... Like, people say he's going to go down in history as the greatest batsman Pakistan's produced. For a long time, I used to say that. But now look at Miadad, look at Inzamam. Okay, I don't care if you tell me Inzamam's average is 39 and Babur's 57. It doesn't matter. Inzamam won you games. There is one stat I can tell you that shows you the importance. Inzamam's match effectiveness is better than anyone else's. Whenever he scored more than 50, Pakistan won, I think it was 85% of the time or something like that, second only to Don Bradman.
Wow. There's a
So I'm
stat
just
for
like,
you. Another
the
stat
stat.
for the ages.
I probably got it a bit off, but yeah.
We should make it a thing for our
Yeah,
a stat
I'm
for the
probably a bit
ages
off
at
now.
the end of
Someone's
every.
going to look at the stat and be like, it's not 85, it's 82 or whatever, and it's only test cricket. No. But there is a stat, and I think there's a good Cricinfo article that talks about this, right? Inzamam comes second, okay?
Except ignoring Inzamam's World Cup form.
Yeah, ignoring that. And Inzamam was another, and Miadad, they won you big matches. So
Yeah.
I don't care about averages anymore,
I agree. I think that's enough said.
And the one thing I'll say that I'd like our followers to actually comment on which loss they thought was tougher to take, Afghanistan or today. Because I'll tell you mine. I think Afghanistan was a bit tougher, but this was also pretty bad. You?
Afghanistan, because it was Afghanistan, I think, to be honest. Not any other reason. If we lost that like that to Australia or to South Africa, I would be like, yeah, whatever. Not whatever, but I would have gotten over it eventually. This one, because you're almost there. It's the hope that kills you.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thanks for watching, and do subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you think. Thank you.
All right. Bye.